Last Thursday evening in a meeting we decided to pull the Russian vodkas from our shelves as a protest to what is going on.
Sochi sponsors, stay away! Putin says you can't be gay! Sochi sponsors, stay away!
So today we had a vodka dump near the Russian consulate here in New York. We were calling for boycott of the Sochi Olympics, for boycott of Russian products, including the Russian vodka. We were calling for the Russian government to repeal the so-called anti-gay propaganda law.
This is a federal law, which means it has to be enforced throughout Russia, that bans what's called propaganda for non-traditional sexuality or non-traditional sexual relations in the presence of children. When they say non-traditional sexual relations, what they really mean is homosexual relationships. That's how the law started out. That's the earlier drafts of this law started out with that. And when they say propaganda, what they mean is any information that is not negative. So not even neutral information. It's not just information, it's also symbols. So it's a very broadly cast term. You know, it could be holding hands in public. If you think there's going to, because in the public a child could be around. It could be wearing a T-shirt that has a rainbow or a slogan.
There is no question that, you know, that this law is hurting people. So I was having lunch with a Russian activist today and asked him a question. So what do you think this law, is it bad or good? Because before nobody had been discussing the subject. And he said that he thinks it's good because now actually we are fighting for our rights and we got tons of attention and maybe we will actually change something. Now there is Putin on TV saying words like gays and lesbians. Before he wouldn't, it just wouldn't be discussed at all.
I think it's really important for people to see this as part of in the bigger context of what's been happening in Russia in the past 15 months. There has been a crackdown underway, unleashed by the Kremlin, basically since Putin was inaugurated restored to the presidency through his inauguration in May 2012. It is the worst crackdown on human rights that we've seen in the post-Soviet era in Russia.
I did read that you suggested moving the Olympics to Vancouver if the laws don't change. Can you just talk a little bit about that?
Well, that would be definitely something very a dramatic move, right? That would hurt Russia's reputation on international arena. I think, you know, the Olympics are Putin's baby, right? It's 2 times more expensive than the previous Winter Olympics. So I think it would be a direct attack on the Russian government, and it would be a very strong message that if you do want to participate in the world events, if you want to do international business, you have to change the laws.
What we know about Russia is that it tries to put up an image that it doesn't care about what the rest of the world thinks, but I can assure you that it does. I think one of the reasons why the government responds with such almost hysteria to international criticism about its human rights record, which of course there has been plenty of because there's been a lot to criticize over the past 15 months. I think one of the reasons why they get so excited and hysterical and rough is because they do care, and they care very deeply. So what will happen, it's hard to predict what will happen in the now almost less than 6 months countdown to Sochi. I don't know whether they will repeal this law. I think that the International Olympic Committee, all the national Olympic committees need to push very hard. I mean, they can't let the fact that the Russian authorities have hysterical reactions to criticism, they can't let that stop their criticism because that means you get bullied into silence.